Hey there everyone, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a new thing I'm going to be trying. Well, first of all, I don't know how to pronounce the name of this platform that's on my screen right now. Is it LBRY or LBRY or what? I don't know. General consensus in my Discord server seems to be it's LBRY, but also this is all open source and blockchainy, so it also seems like it could be LBRY. So whatever. Whichever one it is, this is a new video platform that's been around for a little while now. I kept hearing about it, and I've been wanting to make the switch to it for a little while from YouTube. Now, this video is going up on both. It's going up on LBRY and YouTube. And for those of you on YouTube, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a link to this new Bitphoenix software channel on LBRY. It's easy to set up. I've already announced it in the Discord. And for those watching on LBRY, which I imagine from several reasons there's going to be a lot more people on LBRY than YouTube, I'm going to be explaining why I'm making the switch for Bitphoenix and what this channel is about. Of course, I'm on the About screen right now, so you can sort of read what the channel is about already. So, Bitphoenix software is, well, I'm the leader of it. Well, the lead developer, lead admin, whatever you want to call me. My name is Michael. I've been working on this game called PeaceNet for a long time. It is an open source hacking game written in Unreal Engine 4 and C++. I know Unreal itself is not really open source, but I'm using it because it's easy. Oh, that's Discord. Where's Unreal? It's right there. I'm using it because it's easy to use for me. It's got a visual UI designer, it's got blueprint scripting, so I don't always have to program, and it's got play in editor, so I can do this. You may recognize this if you're on the YouTube land. This is the PeaceNet starting up in Unreal. And the PeaceNet is a stealth hacking game that I'm working on. I've been working on it for a few years now. And basically it's set in this retro futuristic Linux distribution called Peacegate OS that is used to interact with this this dystopian digital network, basically, called the PeaceNet. And what's going on in this network is, well, I'm going to create a new save file. What's going on in this network is basically there's a piece of malware going around the network, and it's infecting everyone in it. Because this network, basically, whenever you're about to die, you get uplinked into this network, and you live a second life, digitally. It's sort of based off a few Tom Scott videos. If you've seen them, I'll have those linked as well. And basically, there's this malware going around, and it's your job as a player, as a government operative, to sort of investigate the origin and the people behind this malware and stop it from spreading. And there's a few other things going on in the story as well that you'll find out. It's very early as far as gameplay goes and story development, but as far as everything else goes, I can actually show it off. So those of you on YouTube have seen this before. It is the PeaceNet tutorial. It's probably not the final thing. Basically, it walks you through the OS that I'm working on, and we'll do that. And it wants us to open up a terminal. I'm sort of speeding through this because this is not the main thing of the video. Now it wants us to go through a little bit of a Linux primer. So it's going to make us type help for a list of commands, and I'm just going to maximize the terminal. Help. Alright. So it's going to teach us about the Unix manual and other commands we can run, as well as system upgrades. And then, now we've unlocked the status panel, which adds if, decided to show a little more. Now it's teaching us about window management. The tutorial in this game isn't very user-friendly right now, but it does work. It does explain how to play the game. So now it wants us to drag the terminal. Oh, it appears I have bugged the game out. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Alright, so don't maximize the terminal when you're in the tutorial. I'm gonna bug it out. Like I said, this game is early in development, so there's a few bugs like that here and there, but this is pretty much a full recreation of a retro-futuristic Linux desktop that I've been working on. And you can... Oh, it is working. Okay. We're still working. Cool. And this is the upgrade system in the game. Eventually you will earn experience points, and you will be able to unlock new features of the desktop and new programs and things like that. That comes from an old failed game that I used to work on called ShiftOS. Again, people on the YouTube side will remember ShiftOS very fondly, or they will hate it. It did not turn out well. But this feature comes from that game, and it's sort of redone. So I can't really demo it because it's still work in progress, but that's a thing. Unlike most hacking games, the bash prompt is fairly realistic in that you have things like Unix piping, so a demo of this would be... Well, of course we have Fortune and Cowset, and it works, even though the fortunes come from inside jokes in our community, which is, and this is another thing I like to do, I like to zoom in so I can actually read it. This is actually chat logs from our Discord that have been added to the game as a reference to the community, and that's something I like to do. I like to have a lot of community references in this game. They're integrated into the language. That's a hard word to pronounce. That's a typo. But Unix piping, that works in the game, and I believe redirection works as well. I've been working on it last night and early this morning. Oh, that's also a bug. You have to actually create the home directory, which is fairly easy to do. And then we can do Fortune Cowsay into test.txt. Or not. Okay, it's still... Wait, no, it actually worked. I'm just blind. I am actually blind. And that's sort of, yeah, there's still a few bugs here and there, but for the most part it works. It's fairly realistic. And there's the list of commands up there that you can use. There's things like cd, mkdir, there's deleting files, there's the actual bash prompt itself, you can echo text, you can read files, you can use the Unix manual, you can see a list of commands, you can run various programs in the game. For example, this is the text editor. Fairly simple UI, it's like Notepad in Windows or Gedit or whatever. And you can view and edit text documents in here. Then there's personalize, which is another thing you can do. You can actually personalize your desktop. You can choose a user color which affects the window borders. This is my personal favorite, Fire. And then you can choose a wallpaper which actually affects the desktop, of course. Oh, what happened to... Okay. Oh yeah, closing a terminal that's open to program actually closes the program itself. That's another thing I added. But yeah, there's some pictures from the community that people have made, as well as things or wallpapers from the Shell, which is an actual Linux distro that a friend of mine is making, so that's cool. Surprised he's not on here. Anyway, that's personalized. Anyway. And then, of course, there's the file manager, which lets you browse files. So that's how that works. And then there's the GUI-based manual. So if you want to view the Unix manual in a graphical user interface, you can. Then there's the IceDog Mail Viewer, which is sort of a play on Thunderbird and Firefox. That's sort of where the name came from. This is meant to be sort of the in-game rendition of Thunderbird, basically. So it's a mail client. And this is where you get things like missions and updates on the current storyline and what's going on in the game. You get it through your IceDog. And then this is a mission right here. So basically when you want to start a mission, you would go to your IceDog and you would view the mission email, which tells you about the different objectives and tasks in the mission, and then you get a mission acquisition at the bottom, allowing you to start the mission. So that's what IceDog is for. And that's basically all there is right now in the game. And then of course this is how the Unix manual works. Yeah, it's basic. And then there's the PCNet browser, which is something I'm working on. That's sort of your web browser, except it uses the in-game internet, not the real internet. And there's Personalizer, which is something I already showed off. There's text editor, we've already seen that. Upgrades, we've seen that. We've seen everything in the game right now, other than the hacking mechanic, which is a little broken. Then of course, if you want to leave the game, you actually reboot the in-game computer, or you can shut down to completely exit the game, and that saves your progress. And that crashes the game, or causes an Unreal ensure, because that's a bug. Anyway, now on to the main part of this video. Why am I switching to LBRY or LBRY, whatever you want to call it, instead of YouTube? Well, YouTube has a lot of issues for me. First of all, it seems to be based more around whether or not you're already popular instead of whether or not you want to become popular. So like, it seems to favor large companies and celebrities over people like me who are just recording videos about their game that they're working on. So it's very difficult for me to get new players into the community, which is the whole point of me doing this development channel, so that people can actually see the game as it's being worked on, and hopefully that attracts new people to come play or even come help develop the game, because it is open source. And I guess that's not YouTube's prerogative. So my viewership and everything has been fairly stagnant for a while, and I know why. It's because I don't spend a lot of time optimizing my content for the algorithm. I don't put tags in my videos, and I don't format my title in a way that's favorable to the algorithm, and I don't, because I don't have time to do that, and I don't upload regularly because I'm busy working on the game. I upload whenever there's a new feature, and in order for there to be a new feature to show off, I need to actually work on the game. Now, I also have high school to go through, and a dual credit course, so I don't have time to basically be a slave to Visual Studio Code and constantly work on the game and add new features and pump out new videos every day. I can't do that. So, yeah. My videos are basically guaranteed not to be favored by the YouTube algorithm, so that's one reason why I want to leave. The other reason is, with all the new guidelines changes, it mostly affects people who monetize their videos, which is something I don't do. But they're also extremely terrifying, and I'm sick of hearing about them. Because when you go onto YouTube and you go to your homepage, you're going to be flooded with people you're subscribed to, and you're going to be flooded with what's trending. And whenever there's a huge guidelines change, what ends up trending is drama videos about that guidelines change, and people complaining about it, and people fear-mongering about it, and shit like that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be stressing out about that. I want to be stressing about the bugs in my game that I have to fix. That's what I care about. I don't care about there being new CO or COPA laws that affect kid-friendly videos. I don't care about adpocalypses. I don't care about any of that. I just want a platform where I can post videos about my game and people can watch them. And the third thing that makes me want to get away from YouTube is rather pedantic. It's their UI. It is not great for people like me. The YouTube studio is constantly changing its UI. It's hard to find things, even though I've gotten sort of used to it. And it's not friendly for my Dark Reader extension, which makes everything a dark theme. Whereas, get a load of this. Alright, we're going to close out of this. Alright, this is a native dark theme in LBRY. And it's a desktop app. If I want to turn the dark theme off and go to inverted colors, I can, which I won't do. Not only that, but it's a lot more fluent. That's awesome. I love that. Switching tabs doesn't take 5 seconds to load. It takes an instant. YouTube's UI is just not great. It's alright, but it's not great. And my final reason for leaving is simply that they can delete your videos if they decide they want to. Now, you can appeal that, but I don't have the time for that. That goes back to what I was saying earlier about how I have high school, dual credit, and a game I'm working on. I don't have time to sit there and appeal my YouTube videos when they get deleted. Now, they haven't been deleted before because I'm very careful, but it's the fact that they can be. If YouTube decides that they want the video gone for some reason, maybe I said the F-bomb a little too much and when running into a crash in the game. Maybe I made a stupid joke that YouTube doesn't agree with, but everyone else finds funny. I don't like that. I don't like how they can just decide, oh, we don't like your video. It's gone. You can appeal this, but until you do, it's gone. I don't like that. Anyway, this channel is going to be my place to post development updates for the PeaceNet as well as coding time lapses. I don't know if LBRY will let you do live streams, so I'm going to have to figure something else out for that. But I also do occasional coding streams where I work on the game and interact with the community at the same time, which is something I love doing, so I'm going to have to figure that out because for now I use YouTube for that. But yeah, I'm going to be trying this out. Hopefully it goes well. For those on YouTube, I'm going to have a link to the Bitphoenix Software LBRY channel. And for those on LBRY, welcome to the Bitphoenix community. I've been Michael, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.